Hey everybody, welcome to Steel City Fandom. It's been a while, but it's Sunday night. Talking with Dustin, so we must be.
Talkin Anime.
It's been 6 months.
Yeah.
That just shows you how fucking long it takes for the show to come out. I mean, we were pumping one of these out a week when you were blowing through sagas like crazy, but like we didn't know where to do another one of these. But now that they're just about to release the next batch of 14, 12 episodes, something like that, episodes.
13, I think this is what it said for this next set.
And we're getting fifth gear. So
finally.
We're almost there, but it's been a slog of like, they drop 12 or 13 episodes and then it'd go like a month and a half. And then we get another drop, we'd watch them, and then we wait. So we really didn't know what to do as far as releasing these, because honestly, I felt like, so we dropped off right around 1,000 or a little bit after 1,000, and now we're on
1061.
And I feel like out of these 60 or 50 episodes, you could have maybe cut it down to 4 episodes, 4 or 5 episodes. I mean, maybe
I don't know about
10.
4. I would say at least cut in half.
You could have done a story in 10.
Yeah,
Easy.
probably. Most
of it's been running down hallways.
Yeah.
Running around, all that stuff. I mean, even the queen getting everyone sick and just going on and on about how they're turning into monsters, on and on and on.
Yeah.
And then finally Chopper gets a cure, and it takes forever. Like, it's like, I really think that, like, now I know One Piece has had some filler before and everything, but Wano, to me, is the most drawn out saga I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yes. 100%.
I mean, even in Dressrosa, where it was long, or Whole Cake was long, but there was still stuff happening. I mean, it's long, but it was like dealing with Sanji's issues and his family issues and Luffy's things and Big Mom and all the different people. It's a lot, but there was there. I really feel like the previous stuff of Wano up until we got to Origashima was moving at a good pace.
Yeah.
When they got to the island and they were like, Luffy and Zoro were together and you had all that. And then you had Sanji in his raid suit fighting and all the stuff they did there. Even when Luffy ended up in prison and all that story, it was good.
Yeah.
Soon as they arrived, and then we had I think last time we talked about how like the Straw Hats all lined up together and they were in that, they had Law's crew. They had the whole crew. They're ready to raid Origashima. Then we raid Origashima, and it's dragged for me.
It has. And I don't know if we had maybe been able to binge our way through it. I don't know if it would have felt quite as long.
It would have been better. Like if you would have just put it on and let it run while you're working, been like, they're just running. I don't know.
Yeah, because like you said, there have been like whole episodes that was just Nami and Usopp riding that big dog thing
forever down the longest
hallways.
Hallway I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
They show you this castle from like the air, and you're like, okay, it just looks like a regular building. Inside, it's like infinite levels. Like it never ends. It has 20,000 floors. There's so many places inside. It's not that big.
It's like the inside of Muzan's palace.
Jesus Christ, it's insane. And I couldn't imagine watching this week to week. I probably would have stopped and waited till they all came out.
Yeah, because honestly, there were like whole episodes where nothing of any significance happened.
Yeah, then there's episodes that we luckily missed where they were like, they do a recap.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a look back at why these two guys hate each other. Like, holy shit, man. I don't know. I hope the final saga that they're getting into flows at a better pace than this, because the pacing in this, now it's had unbelievable moments. Like, obviously,
yes,
it'll remind you who it is when you get to these parts where Luffy goes head to head with Kaido and like, these like battles that they have, like it reminds you, you're like, oh, this is my show right here again.
Yeah.
Then you're sitting there like, okay, Nami's going to get headbutted by that dinosaur bitch again, and then she's gonna hit Usopp. They'd be dead by now, and then But yeah, it's been rough. They've really dragged this out.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's
So
why we haven't felt like talking about it.
I think you're right. Now, one thing I will say is every group of episodes that they have dropped has had those at least one or two episodes that are like, this is our show.
Yeah, yeah. Or we're like, oh, wait till you get to 10, whatever. It's good finally.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's had a lot of some slogging going on in there for sure. Yeah, I probably won't even mention a lot of the stupid shit going on. We talked about like Chopper with the disease he's cured, and the Frankie fights and the stuff he's getting into.
Now, the one Frankie fight that I will say, like him squaring off on his own against Big Mom, in General Frankie, that was cool. That was a really cool scene when he finally was just like, I gotta stand up. I can't run anymore. Yeah. That was cool. And his fight against the Triceratops guy wasn't bad.
No, it was okay.
The problem I had with that fight is they would show you like 2 seconds of fight, and then they'd go back to Nami and Usopp running down the hall.
Yeah, Nami and Usopp haven't done anything that's entertained me other than like her getting Zeus and Zeus becoming part of her staff.
Yeah, that was cool.
And creating the new cloud and all that stuff. Like her relationship with Zeus and what she did there, that was good.
Yes.
The little girl that they have in there with the mochi cheeks or whatever, like
Otama.
That just goes on, and all the fucking animal people, all the weird animal people that are there, I will say one of the cooler, smaller things going on, I thought the Robin 5 episodes was good. Again, they stretched it out a lot, but in general, her new like devil child form that she did.
Yeah, that's cool.
Was really cool, and Brooke was really good in all that.
Yeah. Now, do you think that is like her awakening, or do you think
I think it's an awakening? Yeah.
Okay.
That seems to be the whole thing with Wano, is everyone's awakening. Now, you can awaken devil fruits. It's like Oda thought to himself, like, okay, I've reached my limit with devil fruits. What can you do with them now? Well, now you can awaken them. And it's supposed to be, I remember from the old definition, was that if you remember when Doflamingo awakened, it meant that whatever he can do, he can now apply it to his surroundings. So he made strings, but then he turned like the ground and everything into strings, right?
Yeah.
So, and I know from little teasers that's kind of what Fifth Gear is going to be, like everything's rubber. I don't know what that meant for Robin's power, why she became a winged devil child. Like, I didn't get that at all. I didn't know what that was about.
No, and I don't really understand how that ties into the flower fruit.
Yeah.
Other than
it's just like, what, she looks cool when she just keeps body shifting, and what about if she just does this?
Yeah.
Fuck, I mean, it looked like she could take on Kaido in that form. Like,
it really did. Know. But I mean, she's the only other devil fruit that I've seen that once they exert themselves so much, they like pass out, other than Luffy. Luffy's the only other one I've seen that does that. But she passed out when she was done, and Brooke came to the rescue.
Which made sense because they had to like show how strong she was, but then like quickly nullify her so that the CP0 people can chase her. And now Brooke's got to save her, because in that form she would have fucked those guys up.
Yeah. Well,
so it's like, oh, she's defenseless, and Brooke's saving her, and she can't do anything right now, so they have to run from the stupid CP0 guys with their finger pokes of doom and all the other shit that they do.
Yeah,
I hate those guys. They're just hanging. I like that they're just hanging out in the castle and all this fighting's going on.
Just drinking tea and playing fucking backgammon or something.
And I'm really tired of the eyeball cats and the eyeball spying on everybody, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
Yeah. So that part was cool with Brooke, and Brooke's been a pretty good badass in here.
The one thing I will say though, now that like Sanji actually got back to the main area and had his, he went through his fight with Queen, up until then, he was annoying the shit out of me.
Yeah, he was kind of like a bitch.
And just wouldn't do And he should have been able to take out Black Maria with no problem. Like,
he doesn't hit a woman though.
I know. And
well, first he had the raid suit and he like saved Momo, and then King knocked him on his ass with the raid suit and all that. And then he kind of just walked around for a little bit and then like ended up with Black Maria seducing him and all that shit, you know. But I did like how he called for Robin's help. Like,
yes, yeah, that he
Robin knew what he was doing. That was cool, you know. Because Robin came and messed him up, you know, and he gets all excited and happy that Robin's coming to his aid. Everybody's got bruises on their heads too. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Everybody's got marks on their heads. You have Jinbei fighting that fucking goof. I don't know what that dude's name is, but
Who's who?
Yeah, he's been fighting him for a while.
But apparently he's like an undercover or a former member of one of the CP groups.
Yeah.
Because he has a ton of lore on Luffy's fruit and some other things.
Yeah, and he's trying to rise up in the lead performer ranks.
Yes, but I remember one of the biggest like knowledge drops that I was like it was one of the first things that that wasn't spoiled that I didn't know about beforehand, and it kind of like was jaw dropping, is that he was the not captain, but he was the leader of the ship that Shanks attacked to steal the Gum Gum fruit.
Yes, I recall that.
And so he has a major hatred of Shanks because that's what got him, I guess, expelled from the Marines or whatever.
Yeah.
Or one of the CP I can't remember if he was just a Marine or if he was one of the CP members, but yeah, Shanks stole the fruit from him. So
yeah,
and
so
that, to me, that was, I was like, holy cow, that's a big, that's a moment.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Other little things going on. You had the Odin's Scarbards, or however the hell you say it. They had their little fight with Kaido. They got their ass whooped.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple moments where Kaido looked like he was a little afraid, though, because he kept flashing. He was seeing Odin when Kinemon attacked him.
He was seeing Odin. And then Dogstorm and Cat Viper went off. They went moonbeam power and started fucking up Jack.
Oolong.
Yeah, they started doing that. I was waiting for someone to kill Parasparrows. I hate that fucking guy. And then he fought Carrot and the other chick.
Yeah, Wanda.
Yeah, and they were doing their oolong stuff and whipping his ass, and then of course the moon goes away. And then Cat Viper was fighting him, and then the moon goes away. That was a cool part though, where Kaido and Luffy punched each other, and the vibration cleared the sky, and then finally Cat Viper. I think he killed him.
He better have. If I have to see that motherfucker again, I'm gonna scream.
It looked like he killed him, and then it looked like Dogstorm killed Jack, but really they just said he knocked him out. Yeah. Even though he stabbed him in the stomach. That knocks you out. You don't die, but that, So those are good little battles going on. Rizo's still involved in a battle. You still have X Drake. He's still out there.
Yes.
Fighting. He's fighting that asshole with the straw powers. The guy with the straw with the guy he's fighting.
I don't have his figure because I don't like him. I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name off the top of my head either.
So that guy currently has one of his straw dolls of Kid. So remember, he has the Kid doll in him, and then he was fighting Killer.
Yeah, Hawkins.
That was a good fight.
Basil Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had like several dolls that were made from Kid's like essence. I don't know how he does that, but
and they were hurting him. But then he beat Hawkins then.
Yeah, because he remembered, he asked him, he's like, if whatever I do to you or whatever I do to you, it happens to the doll, right? Or the captain, right? It's like he's like, yeah, so he just cuts his right arm off.
Yeah.
He's like, how did this happen? He's like, kid doesn't have an arm, you asshole.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that fight was over. I like Killer. Killer's good. I don't understand how Killer uses those swords because they're so dangerous.
Yeah, I don't get that. That's
all that spinning and shit. You cut your fucking arm off with one little mistake. But Killer's good. Drake's fighting people. You have a lot of that little stuff going on all over the place. This was also where Luffy gets knocked off the island. It's like his second major defeat by Kaido.
Yeah.
Gets knocked out, gets knocked off the island, is rescued by the Heart Pirates. I think he was drowning for maybe 50 years, it seemed like, right?
It was a long time.
I mean, he was no lie drowning for 10 episodes.
Yeah.
He was just sinking and sinking and sinking. I'm like,
and
how
talking
deep
to
is this
talking
ocean?
to Momo with his telepathy.
Yeah, I was like, how deep is this ocean? Finally, they find him. I don't know how he's not dead. But then he convinces Momo to turn. Well, he wanted him to turn the dragon, and then that girl used her time powers on him to like age him up. Yeah.
Well, that was his choice. He's basically, he said, Luffy was like, hey man, I need you. And so he decided that, hey, use your powers on me, age me up to what I would be if I had been here the whole time. We still, at this point, we have not seen the human form of adult Momonosuke.
Yes, you haven't seen when you heard him talk. I mean, it didn't change him. He's still a pussy. I mean, like,
yeah,
he's still such a sis, like crying and everything about it. Even when he became an adult, he's still
even after he did damage to Kaido, and Luffy's like, look what you just did. You have nothing to fear anymore. And Momo's was like, yeah, you're right. And then he just starts fucking crying again.
So he turns into a dragon. He gets Luffy back up to Origashima. And then with Yamato's help, they attack Kaido. He bites Kaido, and they have like a little small victory over it. And then they need to stop the island. So he tells Momo, go stop the island. But then he tells Yamato, can you go help that big crybaby over there? And he's like, me? And he's crying because he doesn't know how to create clouds. He is so annoying. I'm so over him.
And I get it. He's like, mentally he's still only like 8 years old, but yeah, it's annoying.
He cries a lot.
Incredibly annoying.
Yeah, I like when Luffy said that. Can you go help that crybaby over there? So that was good. So yeah, they have everybody engaging and stuff. Yamato's off on her mission, and but then Kinemon, Kanjuro comes back.
Yeah, which
Orichi's back. He's not dead. I don't know,
No.
because he had his head cut off. I don't know if we even talked about that. He had his head cut off, and then he's somehow back.
Kaido cut his head off.
Yeah.
And that was when
you can kill him because he's a Hydra.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult. The last thing,
like, you cut one head off, it grows another.
We'll see. The last thing I remember of Orochi before 1061 finished, he was hiding in a closet.
Yeah.
And Kozuki Hiroshi, is it Hiroshi? Hiromi? Momo's sister.
Momo's sister. Shinobi?
No, Shinobu is the one with the aging powers.
Okay. It's
anyway, she shows up outside
Kozuki
the room.
Hiro or whatever her name is.
Yeah, well, she shows up.
Hirori.
Okay.
Okay.
That's difficult to pronounce. Too many vowels and Y's in there. But anyway, she shows up outside the little hiding spot of Orochi, dressed up as the geisha Komurosaki, because that was her undercover. He
got like a big heart on for it and got all excited and was like.
And I think she is going to be able to kill him somehow. That's my prediction.
God, what an annoying fucking person that guy is. Yeah. So yeah, that's what was going on with those dudes. But it looked like Kinemon was killed. He took a sword to like the chest and shit, and
yeah, I don't think he just had the white eyes. He wasn't like
the
he
tongue
was just
wasn't out.
yeah, he just had the white eyes, knocked out look.
Yeah.
Now he's messed up, but Law got them all. He used room to move all of them down into the castle into a safe place.
Yes. Yes.
What else? There were some really good scenes on top of on the roof of Onigashima when Kaido and Big Mom were going up against Luffy, Zoro, Law, and Kid.
Yeah.
There was the Kaido and Big Mom combined to do like a Conqueror's hockey attack that Zoro fucking blocked.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
So, because I remember, I think I texted
and that's when Zoro gets injured and he's down and out, and Sanji ties him to a giant like cross for some reason, bandages them all up, and then they have that where he carries Zoro around for 12 episodes, and then Zoro, they gave him some medicine that gave him like a power boost, but then he's gonna crash and probably kill him.
Yeah, it won't. He's Zoro, so
yeah. All that crazy shit's going on.
Yeah, but I mean, I remember when he blocked that attack, the first thing that went through my head was, Jesus Christ, Sanji's really got to show me something if he still wants to maintain his left wing status, because Zoro just basically did more than what Law or Kid could do.
Yeah. You know what part disappointed me was when I first started watching One Piece and Wano was going on or whatever it was. I remember seeing a scene like on TikTok of like Luffy in this crazy ass form with these like snake-like arms riding a dragon. I was like, what is happening in this show? Like, I'm so far away from that, but I'm so curious. So I finally get to that scene where he's on Momo, flies up to Origashima, turns into Snake Man, and comes flying down at Kaido and attacks him, and it was like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And I was like, why'd you go out of Snake Man? Like, that was it? Like, I wanted to see him fight Kaido and Snake Man.
The only thing I can figure is at that point, he knew he could not take that 10-minute outage.
Nap. Yeah. So what? He's just allowed to do Snake Man for 2 minutes?
Well, I think if he voluntarily undoes it, I don't think he gets the penalty.
I just felt like that was a missed opportunity. I would have liked to seen another fight in the Snake Man form.
The only thing I will say about that was when like Big Mom actually saw that going on and actually looked scared. Like she looked up and the look on her face was like, holy crap, he might actually do some damage to Kaido.
It looks cool. I want to see more of it. Like, you've seen so very limited of it, you know? Yeah. I mean, just from looking at Fifth Gear compared to Snake Man might be my favorite. Look-wise. I like the look of it.
Yeah, Snake Man's look is cool. I have not seen like the full scene of him in Gear 5 yet. Yeah. So
I just like the arms, the way they shoot like lasers, you know.
Yeah.
And turn on a dime at people. I always thought that was a good fight when he finally beat what's his name?
Katakuri,
yeah. So that was good. Yeah, so there's a lot of that shit fighting on, and then we got to lining up King and Zoro and Queen and Sanji.
Yep.
And then Kaido and Luffy are engaged in it, and then Law and Kid with Big Mom.
Yes.
And they're supposed to evolve their devil fruits as well, which I don't know what else that means, but I did like the scene where Big Mom was about to finally come in and kill Nami and Usopp again, and then that big metal hand came in and knocked her out, and Kid was like, "Get out of here!"
That was cool.
Yeah, that fight's gonna be good. So we did finally see Queen and Sanji.
The funniest thing about that fight was Sanji.
Queen and Sanji, okay.
Yeah, the funniest thing about that was Sanji refusing to use the raid suit and just pissing off Queen.
Yeah, then he broke it.
Yeah.
But we found out with Sanji is that he is kind of like a cyborg, I guess.
He's basically I don't know if it's always been there and he's never been injured enough for it to like present itself, or if it was something that just kind of developed. But yeah, he seems to have some kind of a like endoskeleton, or like he's got basically a metal body underneath his skin.
Yeah, which they never said before, because he like broke all his legs and they kind of like snapped right back.
Well, yeah, he punched his head so hard his head like dented or something. It was fucking crazy. So that's what I don't know if it was like maybe it's always been there and he's never been injured enough for it to do what it's supposed to do.
It seems like he's been injured though, but I can't remember. I don't know. Maybe he was never really super injured, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we don't get to hear Queen do zoom in anymore.
I'm so happy.
Alex's favorites over there. Queen is such a weird dude. He's such a weird dude. Talks about like having sex. I mean, then it's applied that like one of the girls was like one of his ladies that like Sanji accidentally hit and scared, and she's like one of his sex slaves. Like,
yeah,
he visits her and takes advantage of her. It's implied that he like sexually assaults her. Like, it got fucking dark.
Yeah, Queen is really creepy.
Yeah, I'm glad he got his ass kicked right out the damn window. Now, as soon as that fight happened and Queen got kicked out of that window, he got knocked out, kicked out of the island, dumped into the ocean, right? Devil fruit guy into the ocean. He don't have the Luffy thing that he can talk to people. That guy's got to be dead. I looked up Queen in the like the One Piece database and it says alive, and I'm like, how's he alive? How's he alive?
Well, I did figure out, and I never knew this, but apparently Jack is actually a fishman with the mammoth devil fruit.
It's weird.
So that's how Jack survived when
in the water.
Zuisha blew up their boat.
And you see the broken boat, and he's just standing at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, he's just laying at the bottom of the ocean.
But he's a devil fruit guy, so he should the water should hurt him.
It just all the water does to devil fruit users, it takes away their power and it makes them weak.
Yeah.
So it doesn't actually kill them. They can't swim and it makes them weak. But him being a fishman, he could breathe underwater, so it was no big deal. Queen, I don't believe is a fishman. I think Queen is just a weird whatever he is, but
yeah, then he should be dead.
He should be.
I don't know how he's alive. But no one dies. They kill some people once in a while, but no one really dies.
One of the other funny little things that
Ace.
Well, yeah, that's true too. One of the funny things that we didn't really mention earlier was how many times did King and Marco knock Big Mom's cruise ship off of the waterfall on the way?
Yeah, like 100 times. Yeah. Which was so funny. Yeah, Marco's just been kind of flying around.
Yeah, he did help with Chopper because apparently whatever the poison that Queen made was some kind of ice thing, and his phoenix fire didn't burn the people, but it kept the infection from spreading.
Yeah. That's how that works.
That was helpful. What else? What other? I'm trying to think of some of the other good stuff. The Law and not so much Law, but Luffy and Kid just dick measuring in the fight. Just like, well, if you're not gonna move, I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna take the shot. I can take it. Well, if you can take it, I can take it.
Yeah. And Zoro and Killer being like, these two are idiots.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they keep doing the same thing where like Luffy sets up to fight Kaido, then something happens and he's not ready. I think he's finally in position now.
I think so.
But before, they'll stare each other off for 20 episodes, and then the next is Zoro and King.
I think we're gonna see So in the next episode drop we get, I think we're gonna see the finale of Zoro and King. And then we're gonna get to see Gear 5 and maybe one more episode, and then we'll have to wait another month and a half, 2 months for the finale of Wano.
Yeah. Which will be fine.
Yeah. The way I had it, for some reason I had it in my head that episode 1074 was Gear 5, and the way that the drop was going, I think this next episode, I think it stops at like 1073, and I was like, they're gonna blue ball us one episode before that and just make us drag it. But I was wrong, and it's 1071.
So at least we'll see him change, and then what? We'll get like one episode after.
1 or 2 episodes after, yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long the fight with him in. I don't know how many episodes.
And I'm sure they're gonna do some bullshit where like he can't hold the form, and then Kaido will come back, and then he finally has to get it back or something like that. I don't know. There's always things like that. He never just goes to that and kicks someone's ass. There's always shenanigans, you know.
I have seen the Killing Blow, and again, I don't know how many episodes it is, but it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
that's good. So we're almost there. It's been a long show. I started watching Wano last June.
I'm trying to think when I started Wano.
June 6th, the day before my birthday, I started Wano.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's coming on a year of me still watching Wano. Where I watched the rest of that show in like less than a year.
I do not have my start date for Wano saved.
Oh, look at you. I bet you if I go through my text messages, I could find it.
Well, but I do know when I finished Whole Cake, and I'm pretty sure I went directly into it. So I finished Whole Cake on August 12th. So I probably started Wano August 13th.
Yeah.
If not
August 12th.
August 12th.
Also. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're just sort of waiting for it.
It has been good. It's still been good. It's been a little bit. It's been longer, and the pacing has not been fantastic. But it's still my favorite anime up to this point, and I've expanded out since starting this. I've watched while waiting for these episodes to drop. I watched all of Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
I've watched season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen. I've watched what else?
Solo Leveling.
And I've started Black Clover. I'm 30 episodes into Black Clover.
Mm-hmm.
So I think after Black Clover, I think I'm gonna try Bleach after Black Clover.
So did we ever do a Talkin Anime about Demon Slayer?
I thought we did. Did we just never post it?
Like we'll just do this little production meeting right here on the call.
I can look at my files. Yes, we did. December 3rd.
Let's see. We did. One Piece Remake 5 special. I don't think I ever did it.
That's great.
I did. I never put it out. And we had another thing that we did called Talkin Anime One Piece Remake special.
That was just the quick thing when they announced that they were doing the new starting over from East Blue with the new animation
And
studio.
I never did that either. I have it here. I never did it.
That's funny.
It's Alex's fault because he was supposed to make me pictures for it. You did, but you never did the other one for me. No, actually, you did. No, actually, I do.
It's all your fault, Don.
Alex, please don't call me an asshole.
All right, so we've got a few more episodes that we'll post with this.
Yeah. Fuck, sorry, everybody. Never did Demon Slayer, never posted that. So, yeah, you got this episode that you're listening to now, and then I'm going to upload the other 2. 3 new episodes coming your way for only 3 months late or 4 months late because I completely forgot to send it out.
That's all right. And
then we're going to start a 4-part series for Black Clover.
Yep. And are you done with JJK now?
No, I started the 2nd season. Meh.
Interesting, because when I looked at my Crunchyroll, it was like season 2, episode 20 something. So I thought you were like already done with it.
I stopped using yours. I'm back on mine.
Okay.
Season 2. I don't know.
Huh. Maybe my mom's watching Jujutsu Kaisen.
Maybe. Yeah. So yeah, we have some stuff coming your way. We'll do a 4-parter for Black Clover, and then we'll see where we go from there. What else we'll do? Maybe I'll catch up Solo Leveling or one of these other ones, and we can talk about it. I'm gonna watch One Punch Man, so we can do that too.
Okay. All right, that's good.
And then we'll decide if we're gonna watch Naruto or not.
The more I see about it, the more I'm curious.
Yeah, I also want you to do Bleach though too, but yeah.
There's some crazy shit like once you get into the advanced time frames of Naruto.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. You got a little bit of a production meeting afterwards. So if you're listening to this now, it's probably August, and I remembered to upload it finally. We're out of Wano, but yeah. No, I'll do it. I'll do them all 3 this week for sure.
All right.
So there you go. We probably were talking about Christmas and everything else on the other one.
Probably.
This is the 21st. I'll have to listen to it. All right, sounds good. Thanks for listening. We're almost through our One Piece journey. We got other journeys going on. Stay tuned. Talkin Anime. We'll see you next time.
Later.